Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Dipankar, and today in this video we are going to talk about two things. The first thing is about the data model of discovery framework. We will understand it from the example that we have built in the previous video. We have built two different discovery framework assessments. We will understand it from that context, and in the second part we will talk about how to get the assessment response summaries using the invocable action. For example, we can get the assessment response summary in an invocable action and we can use it inside a Salesforce flow, and we can just display all the responses um, in a record page or any portal or wherever we want it to be. Okay, so let's talk about the first part. The first part is about the data model. So this data model revolves around assessment. So assessment is something that will be created as a record once the user submit the responses built through the discovery framework. Okay, now this assessment will have lookup to contact, account and case, and it will have multiple assessment question responses as well. So you can come to Omnistudio, and based on whatever assessment you select, you can come to the assessment record, and here it will have the lookup to account, case and contact, and it will have multiple assessment question responses. Okay, now this each assessment question response will be linked to assessment question versions. So let's come to one of the assessment question responses. So let me come to subscribe to email newsletter. So this assessment question response will be linked to assessment and question response version. So this is the assessment question version. Now this assessment question version will be linked to the assessment questions. Okay, so this is what written over here. So each assessment question response uh, will be linked to the assessment question version, and assessment question version will be linked to assessment questions. That means this assessment question can have multiple assessment question versions. We have only one for now, but you can see this is a related list. That means it can have multiple, and it can have only one assessment question version that can be linked to it, and that can be active. So if we want to modify, let's say, this question text and response, we cannot do it right away. So to modify it, we can come to this question response version, clone it, then we will be able to modify it and create a new version and make it active. Okay, so this is the best practice. Now we have seen the assessment question response version, and also similar to this this if we come to this assessment question version, it will have multiple assessment question versions. So this is omni process assessment question versions. For example, this assessment question version is being used in two different discovery framework assessments. That means in two different omni scripts that we have built in previous video. So that's why it is showing two omni process assessment question versions. So this is in short about the data model of discovery framework. Okay, so this was all about the first part of video. In the second part of the video, we are going to talk about how to get the assessment response summary using the invocable action. Okay, and we can use this invocable action. For example, we can use it in a flow and we can get the responses. Okay, so this invocable action get assessment response summary will take the assessment ID and it will give the assessment response summary to you. So let's try and see how we can get it. Okay, to do it, let's do it from the scratch. We'll click on new flow, then we'll come to screen flow. Okay, and first thing that we are going to get is the record, or maybe what we can do. let's not create the get record, we'll just get create the action. So this action's name we have over here is get assessment response summary. We can drag it. So this is the get assessment response summary. Okay, I'll give the name, API name, description, everything. Now this is about assessment ID. So where we can get this assessment ID. For example, let's try to get it from the record page. What we can do, we'll just add this uh, screen flow as a tab under this record so that we'll get all the responses. Okay. Now what we can do, um, we want to give it as a resource. So we don't have it. Let's create the new resource. We'll create the resource as a variable. We'll give the name as record ID. So it will be able to fetch the record from the record page. So it will give text, give available for input and output. We'll click on done. And here we'll write record ID. Okay. And next we want to display the response. So we'll click on screen. So we'll uh, assessment response screen. We'll name it to assessment response screen. We are not going to configure header footer or anything. And I don't think we need the buttons as well. So let's leave it. Now we'll just write a display text. We'll drag a display text to see what we are getting it. So we'll name as display assessment response summary. And here we'll give the outputs from assessment response summary. Okay, we'll click on done. We'll click on save. We'll name as display assessment summary in record page. Okay, we'll click and save it. So it has some error, looks like. Let me missing navigation. Okay, so this is a warning. So now let's try to debug it. So what we have over here, we have an assessment. Okay, so let's try to give this assessment ID and we'll see if we are able to get the response or not. So as we click on run, you can see that we are getting the response over here. Okay, now this is into a JSON format. If we want to display it something like this, right? So what we can do, we can use an LWC inside this screen flow. Okay, so to do this, what we can do, we can come to this flow, come to this screen flow, we'll drag. We have already a component mentioned, so I have created it already. So what it takes, it one second, I'll just rename it. So this is the assessment response summary, and the response will give the same response that we are getting from here. So I'll just copy it from here and I'll paste it. Okay, now we don't need this JSON format. What you can do, we'll click on done, we'll save it, and now let's try to click on run. Okay, so it will not run because it don't have the record ID. What we can go, we can give the record ID to it. I think the record ID. Okay, so this is the record ID. We'll click and run. So you can see this is the assessment details with the steps and the values that are getting populated. So this is in short all about how we can get the assessment summary in the response. Now let's do one more thing. Let's try to click on activate it. Now let's come back to this assessment page. We can click on edit page. I think we can add a tab over here. We'll we'll give the custom label. We'll name it as summary. We'll click on done, and let's one more thing, let's give the default to summary, and in the summary let's try to drag the flow. Okay, in the flow, uh, let me see what the name of so this is the name of the flow. We can just drag it, display assessment summary in record page. Okay, now let's click on save, and let's click on activate it. I will do one thing, I'll make it as app default. For I'm not sure what is the app. I think it was Omnistudio. Okay, now let's click on next and save it. Click on save, and let's go back. So I think there is some error that happened in flow. Um, Let me just try to see what is the error on handled. So let me edit it again. Did you miss the record ID or something? Was it there? Okay, show record ID. So we'll say pass the record ID into this variable. We'll click on save. Layout one column. Let's go back. So now we can see we are getting all these assessment details into the record summary. So this is in short all about how to get the assessment summary response into the screen flow. And we also have talked about the data model of discovery framework. So I hope I was able to make you understand about these 2 points. So just in case if you still wants to know how to create this LWC and how to create these reusable assessments and all these stuffs, please let me know and I'll create one more video to make you understand. So if you want to demo it for something else, let's say this is come from basic questionnaire. So it has only one step. So that's why it's going, yeah, showing one. So let's come to demo discovery framework. So this has 4 questions. So you see this is dynamic and based on the steps and the responses, the values are getting pre-filled. So um, yeah, so this is all about getting the assessment response summary using invocable action and displaying it somewhere else. Please let me know if you want me to show you how to create this LWC and create this response. I'll be happy to create one more video about it. And this is all about this video, and thank you for watching.